Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So, this Thursday, there's a local election coming up. And if you know anything about the state of politics in the UK right now, the left majorly is represented by the Labour Party, but the right, there seems to be like a power struggle from the Conservative Party and the Reform Party. Now, the easy answer for the right to just win all these local elections is literally just a coalition between the Reform Party and Conservative Party would literally just wipe the floor of the Labour Party, literally wipe the floor. But both sides, they don't really see it that way. Both sides are really rigid in the way they're saying this. They don't believe the other party have their own best interest at heart, right? And it's kind of odd, right? Because they have similar policies, right? Not exactly the same. Now, you could say Reform Party are probably a bit extreme and conservative are probably a bit lenient on the views, but generally they do kind of follow the same trend, right? And it's just kind of odd because if they join a coalition, it's over for the Labour Party. That just seems very simple. But both sides they don't really see it that way. They're not willing to work with each other, and they're just stealing votes from each other on the right. Because at the end of the day, these two sides they have lots of support and all it doesn't really work. Like at the end of the day, they both will be the ones losing out because Labour will just keep like winning because they both stealing votes from each other. But here we're here to react to a video to see if possibly she's gonna leave like a little bit of room to see if it is possible in the future. That's what we're about to check out. But firstly, if you like the video, it will be massively appreciated if you just drop a like on the video. And also, if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it.
Will you forbid your councillors to go into a coalition with Reform?
Okay. So I want to be extremely clear because people have often been confused by this. I am not going into any coalition whatsoever with Nigel Farage or Reform at national level. I've been very
Under
clear
any
about
circumstances?
that. I've said, read my lips, Trevor. I am not going into coalition with Nigel Farage.
Under any circumstances?
At local level,
Under any circumstances?
I will repeat myself, I'm not going into any coalition with Nigel Farage. At local level, it's different. In the national election, you can rerun the election. At local level, you can't. So there might be no overall control. And what I've said to our councillors, I trust these people, they're very...
So it seems like at local level or national level, there seems to be one she's more comfortable at actually allowing for there to be a coalition. Because at the end of the day, right, like they can disagree with this all day long, right? But I'm pretty sure she can see where the reason is coming from. Because a coalition between these two, it's like the winning strategy. It's not even close because right now people don't really feel like Labour is really sticking to the promises they made pre-election. And at the moment, it just seems like the easiest way, the hardest thing for them to do is a coalition, but the easiest route to win like on every level of the national level or the local level, the easiest way is a coalition, but it's really difficult for them to do to come together. But ultimately they're just stealing votes from each other. That's ultimately what will always be against them.
very smart, they've been doing this for decades, is that you have to do what is right for your local area. You look at the moment, we are in coalition with Liberal Democrats, with Independents. We've been in coalition with Labour before at local government level. They have to look at who the people are that they're going into coalition with and seeing how they can deliver for local people.
So it seems like on local level it's an absolute no, but on national level it seems like it could be open. This like on a national level, all right. That's kind of what I'm getting here. I'm not sure if like I'm getting the wrong signal or anything, but it seems like on a local level, absolutely not. But on a national level, she's not really fighting back too hard against that.
What I don't want to hear is talks of stitch-ups or people planning things before the result is out. They have to do what's right for their community.
So if the numbers work out this way in a particular area on Friday morning, you're not going to say to any of your local council leaders, you may not work with Nigel Farage's party?
A lot of the people who are in Reform now are defected Conservative councillors. So they've probably worked with some of those people before. This is why I say they need to make that decision themselves. I wouldn't recommend going into coalition with people who are not credible, people who have no agenda, no manifesto. We need to make sure that we're delivering the services, picking up the rubbish, filling the potholes, looking after adult social care, running schools. That's their job.
Okay, so people who
Yeah, like it seems like on a local level, it seems to be more like different kind of ways to actually act out the policies that they both want. On a national level, it's easier to have the same policies, but on a local level, like what you really want, the way you actually carry out these things, it seems like they're kind of far off each other. So that makes more sense why she would reject it on a local level.
are going to vote, who want to vote Conservative, know that the outcome might be a coalition with Reform if that's the way it falls. But one thing that's interesting, I mean, you haven't been shy to, as we've discussed,
No, I'm not shy.
you're not shy. You haven't been shy to express your views about the personal characteristics and capabilities of the Prime Minister. The TUC boss Paul Novak says this morning that Nigel Farage is, I'm quoting him here, a political fraud and a hypocrite, cosplaying as a champion of the working class.
Which is absolutely true, by the way. Absolutely true.
Would you endorse that message?
So it's not for me to speak for the TUC or endorse them. I've been very clear that Nigel Farage wants to destroy the Conservative Party. He said so himself. This is one of the greatest institutions of our country, I firmly believe. He is not someone that I'm interested in doing business with. And he's already lost 20% of his party. Rupert Lowe himself, someone who came in wanting to make Farage Prime Minister, says that man must not be Prime Minister. So let the people who've worked with him speak for him. I'm here to speak for the Conservative Party. We are the only credible party right now that's standing for local government. We know that people
You're
are
happy to talk about the
disillusioned.
Prime Minister's character, but you're not so
That's
keen to
because-
talk about Farage's
That's because
character.
I'm the leader of the opposition, not the opposition to reform, the opposition to the government.
Oh,
That is
well.
the job. That is the job that I have been given. I don't
Okay.
want to spend all my time talking about all
Okay.
the other minor party leaders.
You may
I've got to
not-
talk about who's running.
But the problem is that, like, the people that are voting for reform, majority of them are coming from the Conservative Party. So if you don't actually point out, hey, listen, anyone that wants to leave our party and go join the Reform Party, this is not the way to go. Like, whatever it is you're looking for over there, that isn't what it really is, okay? The person is portraying in the media, that's not who he is. He's not there to serve the working class. He doesn't really have your best interests at heart. If you don't point that out to the people that are already in the Conservative Party, then obviously, most likely, because if they're going to shift, people are not going to shift from the right all the way and swing all the way to the left. They're just going to go from the right further right. That's what they would do. That's the easiest transition for them. And if you leave them with no choice and they believe what Nigel Farage is saying, then obviously everyone will just swim away into the Reform Party. That's what she doesn't seem to actually understand here. She actually needs to point it out. She can't just leave him, like, because if he was like far left, Nigel Farage was like far left, then it would be much easier, because people typically don't swing from the right to the left. That it typically doesn't happen like that. But on the right, the only other option for them is to go to Reform Party. And if you don't let people know, hey, that's not in your best interest, people will just do it. And we're seeing it right now. They're getting millions and millions of followers, millions and millions of voters as well.
You may not be the opposition tonight to Reform, but you are a competitor. And
Exactly, a competitor. That's exactly. It's so true. You are in competition on the right with the people that are voting on the right. You're in competition and you're stealing votes of each other. So you need to take that seriously.
we read this morning that one of the Conservative Party's big donors, Basim Haidar, donated 700,000 to the Tories under Rishi Sunak, has announced he's giving £1 million to Reform. You must be worried that he's just the first of many.
No,
That's
I'm-
exactly what I just said. When people feel like the Conservative Party are not doing anything anymore, they're not going to go to Labour. They wouldn't do that. They would just go even further right and just go support the other party on the right.
Not worried. We are raising money as well in the Conservative Party. The last release showed that we raised more than the Lib Dems, Reform and Labour combined. So we're doing fine on donations. Obviously, we don't want to lose our donors, but we need to make sure that what we are doing is about the public. It's not just about winning elections. What are we winning for? What is the
But obviously, that's the end goal. That's the end goal. You want to win elections. That's ultimately the end goal. So from there, you can start. Okay, how do we win elections? Then you typically work backwards. Because if you just decide what you want to do, that's fine. But would that actually gain you elections? Like, it doesn't really seem reasonable at all. Like, you need to know, what is it that works? What is it that people are gonna vote for? What is it that people are actually gonna believe us? Does this actually sound believable or not? That's typically how. And if you don't take this threat seriously, because reform are on the rise right now, right? A lot of people they're gaining a lot of trust from the voters right now, and they're gaining lots of followers. So if she doesn't take it as a threat, then I feel like that's just being extremely naive, extremely naive. But that's just my thoughts on the video. Remember, if you like the video, it will be massively appreciated to drop a like on the video. It really helps a lot. And if you like the content, subscribe to the channel.